What up, YouTube? It's your boy Detroit Love with another video. This shout goes out to Ronald Wells, who corrected me. You do not need to use a screwdriver to switch this power button around. You can just simply have a sip of another screwdriver and just change the code, and you can have your power button working without flipping the switch. Let's get it started. Today we're going to right a wrong. So we're starting with the Builtin Oz arcade only 32 gigabyte Raspberry Pi 3 image, and we're starting a fresh disk so that all you guys that are modding for the first time can use your power button. So in my last video I went through the steps, and then I had people reversing the button as I did, and that's totally not necessary. So we'll let this write, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so the disk is written. We can close that. Check this. And so plug card in, and I plug the plug into 5 and 6. So I'm going to have to get the IP address for this. Okay, so this is a new setup, so I need to get out of this program. So this is the attract mode, which I don't like to use. So I need to go to Retropie right here. And I need to boot to EmulationStation. Here it is. Boot to EmulationStation. So it's going to switch into EmulationStation. Man, I didn't realize it takes forever. Alright, so now it saw its 2 joysticks or game pass, and so we have, this is the configuration that I use. You see there, Y, X, LS, B, A, RS, and then we got the coin button down there. So let's do that. So we're gonna hold this first one down here. So up, down, left, right, start, select. This is A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then I just hold any button to get through this. And then hotkey is going to be down here. All right. Hit OK. Alright, so this button is configured, but we have to go back over to configure. Let's back up. Go back to, let's go back to main menu, configure input. Yes. And we need to do button player 2. So we can do this where we can actually see the buttons. Alright, so we're going to press and hold the button. Alright, up, down, left, right, start, select. The sheets say A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder. Just press any button, press any button. And hotkey. Alright. Get out a couple seconds. And then hit OK. Alright. So now both controls work. Alright. So now we have our controls set. Our objective is to get this button to work. It doesn't work. We plugged it in, but it doesn't work. Alright. So we want to get our IP address. So we go down here to Retropie. Okay. Oh, we have to set the Wi-Fi up. Okay. So we're going to go down to Raspberry config. Configure network. Hit select. All right. Select. And I don't know why this thing takes forever to do this. Let me get my keyboard. So I can page down, because it would take forever otherwise with that keyboard. Alright, you guys see United States? Right, United States. And hit OK. Alright, now can't see that. Now let's set to USA. Hit OK. Enter. I don't want to do that. Cancel. Come on, go down and over. Alright. So we're just gonna back up out of here. Now we have our country set. We're gonna finish that. Now we're gonna go down to Wi-Fi. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Wi-Fi. Connect to Wi-Fi. And in our password. Been a long time since I've done this. Hit OK. Alright, connecting. Now you see I'm connected. So I'm going to 39 is my IP address. We're going to exit this. 39. Alright. So now we know what our IP address is. We go back to the PC. Alright, so we're back here on the computer. And so the application that I use is called putty. Alright, so that's our IP address. So we're going to just say save. And open. Alright, this message comes up. We just want to say yes for our encryption. Jeez, what is going on? There we go. So just say yes to create the key, and we're gonna log in as Pi and Raspberry. All right, so now we're logged in. So the next step is to go to my video and click on this. All files that I mentioned in my videos are here. We click on that link. That'll take you to the Dropbox. You'll find a list of files here. You want to scroll down to the bottom, and you see this file here, setup to use on off switch.txt. You click on that, and that's going to give you your instructions. So let's just make this bigger so we can see it. I'm just going to copy this. So I just Control A, that selects everything. Control C, that copies. I'm just going to bring up Notepad. Notepad++ is what I recommend because it'll keep it another version. So I'm going to paste this in here, Control V. So now I have all my instructions in this file. Alright, so I'm going to scroll to the top. So this is what I need to do, these steps. So all I'm going to do is just move this over a little bit, minimize this thing, and go back to the screen here. I'll close this because we don't need that. Alright, so we logged into the Retropie. You can see here at the top, logged in as Pi at Retropie. Alright, so all I do is do each of these steps. So I'm going to copy this, Control C over here, Control V, or I just hit the right button, the right mouse button. I'll paste it, and we just hit enter on that. Let that run through its course. That was quick. Got an error, but we're just going to keep on going. Copy this one, Control C, copy, right click mouse over here, hit enter. Alright. So it's saying that none of these things were upgraded because the thing's already done. But again, we don't know what's done, what's not done. We're just going to go through each of the commands to make sure that we have what we need. It says that's already there, so put that over here, paste this in. That's already there. And this last one, Control C. Alright, so all those things were already loaded. Now we're going to do number 6. Let's move this a little more so we can see. So we're going to copy this line here for number 6. We're not copying the numbers for any of these, only the text that comes after it. Right click in here. Alright, so it did that. Now we're going to do number 7. So we'll scroll down. Copy that. Right click, enter. Alright. Go to number 8. We'll change this directory. Control C. Alright. And we go to number 9. We'll run this command. Paste that in there. Give that time while that's running. We'll just go here and grab the next command for number 10. Copy that. This is done. Right click, paste that. While that's going, we'll go to 11. We'll make this directory. Copy that. Over here, right click. It says that directory already exists. We go down, and now this is where we get to the file that we're going to edit this shutdown file. Now this is where most people run into the problem, because this file already exists. It's telling us to copy and paste that in there, but it is already here. But the problem is there's an error here somewhere. So what I recommend is just go and I'm at the bottom. See that little green cursor? That means there's some spaces there. I'm just going to backspace. We're just going to delete everything in here. You know, this, because they typed this in here. We're just going to erase everything. Just backspace everything out of there. There's nothing left. Alright, nothing. Can't back up anymore, can't go down. Okay, now everything's gone. So then we're gonna go over here, and that starts at this sleep. Go hold down the shift. Trying to do this with one hand. So this is the content to paste in. So we're just going to go here, hold down shift, and press the down arrow till we get to the sleep. There we go. Control C that. Go over here, right click. Now we just paste everything in there. Now you see these little green things. I'm just going to make sure these green things aren't anything. So I'm going to backspace to get rid of that. I need to put that parentheses back in and return. You see that? Everywhere where I see that green, I'm just going to back up, enter, so that there's no green. Backspace, backspace, return. There's a green there. Backspace, and get rid of these spaces. Alright, so there's no green squares. Let's Control X, Y for yes, enter. Alright, so now we save that. And I'm just going to go back here and do a more. Instead of nano, I'm going to change nano to more. And all that's going to do is just display on the screen that contents, just to see what it looks like. Alright, so that's what it looks like, the text. Everything looks good. We have false there and true there. Alright. Thing says to do. Now it says restart the Pi. That's 13, so we're going to do that. And now that's just disconnected. Our Pi is rebooting. And there's another step, but I'm not even sure we have to do that. This is on. We'll let that load into EmulationStation, and we'll test the button here. The last step I don't think we have to do, because I think it's already set up. Alright, so now we're on. Let's switch this to off. Nothing. Alright, so let's go back over here to the PC that's currently on. 192.168. 86.39, I believe is what we said. Open. Yep. Pi, Raspberry. Alright. And let's just finish what it says to do. So we started in that 13. We're going to go down to 14. Right click. Alright, what does it say do here? It says go there and add this line here. Add the following to the file. Copy that. And see, that's already there. But all that stuff is realmed out, except for it's printing this IP address. I'm just going to delete this and then paste it in there. Right click. Alright, and save. Yes, enter. Okay, it doesn't say anything about rebooting. But I'm just going to reboot. But before I do that, I'm just going to go take a look at this back of the machine and make sure that thing is plugged in properly. Alright, so I'm trying to get this thing into the 5 and 6. Alright, I think that's it. Mount that back up there. Alright. Okay, so yeah, so it's actually working now because it just turned off and turned back on. But because I had reversed my buttons to begin with, mine is actually the opposite. So I'm going to switch that to off, and now it's working. So you had to reboot. I mean, you had to just delete that whole content of that file and copy and paste it like you saw me there, because something's just weird in that code. So even though mine is the opposite, yours should be fine, because I did in fact reverse my buttons. So for me, I would have to switch it back the opposite way. So since it's already set up, I'm just going to use my keyboard here. So I got, on this machine, I got this big keyboard here. So I'm just going to prop this up here some kind of way. And I'm going to hit this is turned on. Yep, turned on. Power button. I'm going to hit F4. And you see I have this thing here. And so I'm going to configure that same file. Hit enter, and in my case, I just did the more. I don't want to do more. I want to do the nano. All right, so now I have this edit. So now if I go and put this back the other way, make this true, backspace, and make this button state 1 equals false. Okay, and then do Control X. It's behind the keyboard. I want to hit buttons. So say hit Y for yes, hit enter, and now I don't even think I need to reboot because it knows that command, I believe. So let's just try it. So now it's on. Now if I switch it to, well, let me just type it should work either way. I'm gonna type EmulationStation. And here's a tip: when you start typing something, you can hit the tab, and it'll finish it for you if it's an actual command. So we'll just go back into EmulationStation. And now it's on off. I'm gonna switch it to on. See if that works. Yep, there you go. So it just rebooted. Now I'm gonna switch it back to off while it's rebooting, because no, actually I want it to be, oh yeah, I just switched it back. Yeah, so I want it to be on. So I just switched it back to on while it's rebooting. Now my buttons is going to be marked the right way again because I just switched the command. So you don't have to switch the buttons, you have to switch the code, and in your case it should be exactly the way it is in the file. My case is different because I've actually switched my buttons. But either way, you can toggle it if it doesn't work the way it should work. So now it's on off. I mean on. I'm gonna switch it to off, and it should turn it off. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. You can reverse your buttons by reversing the true and false on those two lines. You don't have to physically reverse the physical button. Okay? And now you need to look at my next video on how to get rid of the bezels, and I'll put the links there in the description, and how to get your boot up to have a personalized screen. I'll put that link in, and how to get rid of all this loading text and everything. Those are the next steps that you want to do now that you are configured. I'll show you how to put it in kid mode so you can protect your MAME from people, coming in here and hitting the menu button and changing all your settings. Okay, so all those steps, I'll put all the links in the description. Oh, one last thing. While you can turn the system off with this switch, one key thing you need to know: if you are changing things like changing your favorites, adding things to and from favorites, if you hit this switch after changing some, so that here it goes. So I go to favorites, and this all points bulletin thing is there, right? So I hit the whatever button this is based on my sheet. What is this? The Y button. Okay, so I hit the Y button. That will remove, see there? It removed that from my favorites. In order for that to save, I need to exit this right. So if I hit this switch now and turn this off, it's going to go through the shutdown system, but it's not going to save my favorites. So now if I turn this back on, again, this takes forever because we hadn't got rid of all our scripts. I'm going to turn this back on and back on to get that to boot. because there's a five second delay that you need to when you switch that off before you can turn it back on again. All right, so I deleted that top game, the all points bulletin, from my favorites, but because I use that switch, it is not going to save. So we'll see as soon as we get rid of this. All right, so now if I go back to favorites, guess I went the long way, of course. Oh my goodness. All right, click on favorites. See, that's still there because I didn't save it properly. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna hit Y to remove that. Now that's removed. In order for me to be able to save any changes I've done, I cannot use this on the very next step. I need to back out to this menu, hit my start button, and then go down to quit, hit my A button, and I can restart EmulationStation, or I can quit EmulationStation, or I can shut down here. So I'm gonna say restart EmulationStation just so it saves my changes, because if I don't do that, it will not save it. All right, so now if I go to favorites, I go up this time because it's right there. All right, hit my button, you see that game is gone. Okay, so you have to do that. Now I can turn this off to turn off my game, and it's fine. But so you can use this button all day, any day, except if you've made changes that you want to save. If you haven't made changes, then you can use this button. But if you have made changes, go ahead and restart EmulationStation so it saves that, and then you can use the button as you please. All right. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you on the web.